Hello, everyone. It is a fantastic Tuesday to dive back into the madness of our favorite daytime drama. We have so much to unpack today, so grab your coffee and let's get right into the thick of it. Honestly, you guys, I've been staring at my screen for like 3 hours trying to process what we just watched, and I'm tired. I'm just so emotionally drained by this show sometimes, but I can't look away. I really can't, so let's talk about Brooke Logan Forrester. Because wow, just wow. A few episodes ago, she was an absolute terror. She was smashing monitors in Katie's office. She was screaming. She was literally kicking her own daughter out of the cabin on the Logan estate. We all saw it. We saw Hope collapse in the gallery from a massive panic attack because her mother just coldly discarded her. But now the tables have completely turned. And it is wild to watch. Because Hope's line at Logan, it is a massive, undeniable, earth-shattering success. The fashion world is absolutely losing their minds over it. Deke Sharp's designs are a hit, the branding is perfect, and Hope is the undisputed queen of the runway right now. And Brooke is sitting there watching all of this happen from the sidelines, watching her daughter achieve this monumental success without her. And not just without her, but with Katie, with Bill, and you can just see the heavy regret washing over Brooke. You can see the exact moment she realizes that her rigid, stubborn, my way or the highway attitude completely backfired. She thought tough love would work. She thought kicking Hope out would break her spirit and force her to come crawling back to Forrester Creations begging for forgiveness. But it didn't. It did the exact opposite. So Brooke swallows her pride, which, let's be real, is a very rare thing for Brooke Logan to do. She actually swallows her pride and goes over to the Spencer Mansion. The Spencer Mansion, you guys. The absolute last place she wants to be right now, considering it's Bill's territory and Liam is there harboring her evicted daughter. But she goes. She walks up to those big doors and she goes in to beg. Yes, Brooke Logan is begging. She finds Hope and she just starts pleading with her to come home. She's crying. She's doing the whole emotional mother routine, telling Hope that she was too rigid, that she made a terrible mistake, that she just wants her little girl back in the fold. And honestly, a part of me felt a tiny bit bad for her. Just a tiny bit, because you can tell she is genuinely hurting. But then I remember what she did, and I'm like, no, you made this bed, Brooke. You made it, and now you have to sleep in it. But the craziest part of all of this, Hope's reaction, or rather, her total lack of a reaction. Hope was ice cold, just ice cold. There were no tears. There was no trembling lip. There was none of that classic Hope Logan vulnerability that we are so used to seeing. The girl who was literally passed out on the floor from a panic attack just days ago is gone, replaced by this absolute powerhouse of a woman who just looked at her mother like she was a stranger. Hope looked Brooke dead in the eye and delivered what might be the most brutal, honest, devastating line I've heard on this show in a long time. She told Brooke that getting kicked out of the cabin was the best thing that ever happened to her. She said it was the exact moment she truly grew up, and then she dropped the hammer. She told Brooke that she no longer needs her toxic protection. Toxic protection. Just let those two words sink in for a second. Toxic protection, because that is exactly what Brooke has been doing for years, decades, even. Brooke has always hovered over Hope, always trying to control her life, her relationships, her career, always claiming it was to protect her. Protect her from Thomas, protect her from Steffy, protect her from making her own mistakes. But it was never really about protection, was it? It was about control. It was about Brooke needing Hope to be this perfect little extension of herself, and Hope finally sees it. She finally sees that Brooke's love, while real, comes with heavy, suffocating chains. And Hope just took a pair of bolt cutters and snapped them. She is done. She doesn't need the cabin. She doesn't need Forrester Creations. She doesn't need Brooke's toxic protection anymore. And seeing Hope stand her ground like that, I actually cheered at my screen. I did. I was like, yes, Hope, finally. And you can see the exact second that Brooke's heart just completely shatters into a million pieces. Because it hits her, the realization hits her like a freight train. In her desperate attempt to control Hope, in her rigid refusal to accept Hope's choices, Brooke didn't save her daughter. She pushed her away, and she didn't just push her anywhere. She pushed her straight into the waiting, eager arms of Katie and Bill Spencer. The two people Brooke currently views as her absolute worst enemies. She literally handed them the golden goose. Katie and Bill are sitting over at Logan, counting their money, soaking up the incredible press, and practically gloating over the fact that they stole Forrester's brightest star. And Brooke did the heavy lifting for them. If Brooke had just been supportive, if she had just swallowed her pride on day one, maybe they could have worked something out. But no, Brooke had to go nuclear. She had to smash monitors and issue evictions. And now Katie has hope, Bill has hope, and Brooke has absolutely nothing. And of course, because this is Los Angeles and this is the fashion industry, this massive family rift isn't staying a secret. The press is all over it. The media is having an absolute field day with this. It is prime tabloid fodder. You've got the fashion blogs, the magazines, the gossip sites. They are all running with the story of the Logan family civil war. Brooke disowns Hope, the Logan sisters torn apart. It is a PR nightmare of epic proportions, and it's severely damaging the reputation of the Logan family in the public eye. For years, the Logans have marketed themselves as this united, loving, supportive family. They were the heart of the fashion world, but now they just look like a messy, vindictive, cutthroat dynasty that turns on their own blood the second business gets involved. So let's talk about the fans on social media, because Twitter is an absolute war zone right now. You've got Team Brooke fighting Team Hope, and it's just exhausting. Some people are saying Hope is being a brat, that she should respect her mother. But honestly, I am so firmly on Team Hope right now, it's not even funny. How much is one person supposed to take? Hope built hope for the future from the ground up. It was her baby. And Forrester Creations, specifically Steffy and Ridge, just completely disrespected her. They shelved her line. They promoted Zende without even asking her. They treated her like an intern instead of a visionary, so she left. She made a smart, bold business move to go to Logan, where Katie actually respects her and gives her creative control. And instead of Brooke saying, "Wow, honey, I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself," Brooke lost her damn mind. She made it all about herself, because with Brooke, it's always about Brooke. Always. And let's picture this scene at the Spencer mansion again. Liam is hovering in the background, right? Because Liam is always hovering, but even Liam couldn't fix this. Brooke is standing there in Bill's house, a house she has so much history in, a house that represents so much pain and drama for the Logan family, and she's stripped bare. All her righteous indignation from last week is gone. The woman who confidently kicked her daughter out into the cold is now begging for scraps of affection. It's pathetic, but it's also incredibly compelling television. I have to give props to the actors because they are acting their faces off right now. The tension in that room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Hope's coldness wasn't malicious. It wasn't like she was trying to be cruel. It was worse than that. It was indifference. The opposite of love isn't hate, you guys. It's indifference. And Hope is just completely indifferent to Brooke's tears right now. And what about Katie in all of this? You know Katie is somewhere just sipping a latte, looking at the sales numbers for Hope by Logan and feeling incredibly vindicated. Brooke declared Katie her #1 enemy. Brooke smashed a screen in Katie's office, but Katie won. Katie played the corporate game. She offered Hope a lifeline, and she won. And Bill Spencer is probably laughing his head off. Bill told Will earlier this week that it's just business, that they shouldn't feel guilty for taking Hope. And he's right, it is business. But for Brooke, it's personal. It's always personal. Brooke realizes that her own toxic behavior is the reason Katie and Bill have this victory. If Brooke had just been a mother instead of a Forrester loyalist, she wouldn't be in this mess. She literally drove the getaway car for Katie and Bill's corporate heist. It's poetic justice, honestly. But the fallout for the Logan brand is going to be massive. The media loves to build people up just to tear them down. And right now, they are tearing the Logan legacy apart. The public is seeing the cracks. The fashion buyers are seeing the drama. Sure, Hope by Logan is selling out right now because of the hype, but long term, this family feud is a stain on their reputation. You can't market a brand based on family values when the matriarch just evicted the star designer from her home. It makes Brooke look unstable. It makes the whole family look toxic. And speaking of toxic, I keep going back to that phrase Hope used. Toxic protection. It's just so perfect. It perfectly encapsulates the entire dynamic between Brooke and her kids. She smothers them. She dictates their lives. And the second they step out of line, she punishes them. Well, Hope just took the punishment and turned it into power. She weaponized her own eviction. I mean, think about it. Think about all the times Hope has just taken it. She has absorbed so much trauma, so much manipulation over the years, and she always forgives. She always goes back to Brooke and says, "I know you meant well, Mom, but not this time." Something fundamentally broke inside Hope when Brooke kicked her out. You don't just evict your child because they change jobs. You just don't, and Hope realizes that now. She realizes that Brooke's love is conditional. It's conditional on Hope being a good little Forrester employee. It's conditional on Hope hating the people Brooke hates. And Hope is finally saying no. She is setting a boundary. A massive, impenetrable boundary right at the front door of the Spencer mansion. And Brooke has no idea how to handle a boundary. She's like a bulldozer that just hit a reinforced steel wall. And maybe I'm being too harsh on Brooke. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. I know Brooke loves Hope. I know she thinks she is doing the right thing. But intention doesn't negate impact. Her impact has been destructive. She has destroyed her relationship with her sister Katie. She has destroyed her relationship with her daughter. And for what? For Steffy. For Ridge, who just promoted Zende without even consulting Hope. Ridge, who is currently complaining about Hope's lack of morals. Brooke is fighting a war for a family that doesn't even respect her daughter, and she lost everything because of it. So, where do they go from here? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't see Hope backing down anytime soon. She is riding high on this Logan success. The media might be dragging the family drama, but they are also praising Hope's resilience. She is that girl right now, and Brooke. Brooke is going to have to do a lot of soul-searching. She can't just bully her way out of this one. She can't just cry and expect everything to go back to normal. The glass is shattered. You can't put it back together. And honestly, I don't think Hope wants to put it back together. She is free. For the first time in her life, Hope Logan is completely, truly free. And it is a beautiful, messy, chaotic thing to watch. Let's talk a bit more about this media frenzy, because the writers are really leaning into the real-world consequences of this soap opera drama. In the past, people would have a screaming match in an office, and that would be the end of it. But now we have live-streamed fashion shows. We have fashion influencers. We have social media. When Hope admitted to the press that Brooke didn't know about her launch, she lit a match. And when Brooke evicted her, she poured gasoline on it. The tabloids are eating this up. The Logan family civil war is trending, and it's making everyone look bad. The public is looking at Brooke like she is some kind of wicked stepmother, except it's her own biological daughter. The reputation of the Logan women, which was already pretty rocky if we look at their history, let's be real, is in the gutter. They are being painted as backstabbing, ruthless, and entirely dysfunctional. And the worst part is, the tabloids aren't even lying. They are just reporting the facts of what Brooke actually did. And you just know Steffy is somewhere reading these articles and smirking. Because of course she is. Steffy hates the Logans. But even Steffy has to realize that this is bad for business overall. The whole industry is distracted. No one is talking about Eric's haute couture line. They are only talking about the Hope and Brooke drama. It's a PR nightmare that has completely consumed Los Angeles. But for Katie and Bill, any press is good press, right? They are riding this wave of controversy all the way to the bank. Brooke played right into their hands. She was so blinded by her own self-righteousness, so determined to force Hope into submission, that she didn't see the bigger picture. She didn't see that she was destroying her own family's legacy just to prove a point. And let's just take a moment to think about the sheer irony of all this. Brooke has spent her entire life fighting for her place in the Forrester family. She has fought Stephanie, she has fought Taylor, she has fought Steffy. She always demanded respect. She always demanded to be heard. And now, when her own daughter is doing the exact same thing, fighting for respect, fighting to be heard, fighting for her own creative control, Brooke completely shuts her down. The hypocrisy is just staggering. It really is. Brooke couldn't see that Hope was just doing what Brooke taught her to do, survive and thrive. Instead, Brooke demanded blind loyalty. She demanded submission, and when she didn't get it, she lashed out with that eviction. And now she is paying the ultimate price. She is standing in the Spencer mansion, a place she despises, begging a daughter who no longer needs her. It is tragic, yes, but it is a tragedy of Brooke's own making. She built this cage, she locked the door, and now she is shocked that Hope found a way to break out. I'm just so exhausted by Brooke's cycle of behavior. She does something awful, she realizes it too late, she cries, she begs for forgiveness, and usually she gets it, but this time feels different. The writers have actually pushed Hope past the point of no return. That phrase, toxic protection, it just keeps ringing in my head. It is such a profound realization for a character who has historically been a bit of a doormat. Hope is finally standing up and saying, I don't want your kind of love if it means I have to sacrifice my own autonomy. It's powerful. It's clunky and messy and heartbreaking, but it is so incredibly powerful, and I am here for it. I am here for independent, cold, calculating Hope. She is finally playing the game, and she is winning. So yeah, that's where we are. Brooke is broken, Hope is thriving, Katie and Bill are victorious, and the Logan family reputation is in absolute shambles. What a week, you guys. What an absolute roller coaster of a week. I need a nap. I need a very long nap before tomorrow's episode. But you know I'll be right back here, glued to my screen, waiting to see what happens next. Will Brooke try to sabotage Logan? Will she go after Katie again? Or will she finally actually learn her lesson? Who actually believes this is going to end well? Because I don't. Not for a second.